Hey guys, Chad Hoover, Kayak Bass Fishing. One of the questions that I get asked a lot is, how do I fish all year long? And the other question that I get asked is, what do I wear to fish all year long? You know, obviously I live in the South, but I live in the upper South. I live in Tennessee, and for the most part, we still get really cold weather. We don't get ice out, which means we have year-round fishing for the most part. Actually, we have year-round fishing no matter how you slice it. We have some steam plants where the warm water discharge provides some exceptional winter fishing. So I'm gonna fish year-round. And to be able to fish year-round, you need clothing and you need to make the right clothing choices for both safety, comfort, and so that you're not miserable when you're out on the water. Because listen, 90% of fishing's mental. If you're miserable and you don't want to be out there, you're not gonna focus, you're not gonna catch fish. So I'm gonna take you through kind of my progression from late summer into the early fall, where we are right now, into winter, and kind of walk you through the different setups that I use and the ones that I would recommend that you add. Now, you know, I'm obviously in a position to where, because I do this for a living, I can probably have every, you know, thing that I need. The safest, most beneficial thing for you in late season is a full dry suit. But I'm going to be honest with you, full dry suits are both expensive, uncomfortable, and not practical in a lot of cases for the type of fishing that we do as kayak anglers. So I've come up with a system over the years that allows me to be comfortable on the water, to layer, to have a system that's interchangeable so I can change it as the conditions change, and all of the pieces are a smart investment moving towards the overall system that I use. So first and foremost, you need to understand what safety, what thresholds there are for the type of conditions where you need to be thinking about anti-exposure. And there's a real simple thing called the rule of 120. If your outside air temperature and your water temperature don't add up to 120, you should have some type of anti-exposure on. Anti-exposure is not a rain suit. It's not something that has an open bottom on it that doesn't prevent water intrusion, and it doesn't protect you should you end up in the water. During the rule of 120 consideration, dress for the swim, not for the conditions sitting on your kayak. So let's start and walk through the system. You know, first and foremost, early in the season, actually, I got one top in the truck. Hold on. Stay right there. No, keep rolling. Stay right there. Yeah, so this isn't in my bag because it's in the front seat of my truck. So early in the season, I'm gonna opt for what we like to call a splash top. What this splash top means is it's really comfortable, it's really lightweight. I can pack it up, roll it up, and stick it inside of a dry bag, stick it in a hatch, stick it under my seat. But it's a splash top because it has no gusset. Now, one of the things that NRS does is they make this tacky strip on it so that when you do put it on over a semi-dry suit, wader pants, it tacks together. Put your PFD on over the top of that and cinch that down. Creates a gasketed layer. But it's not dry, and it's not even qualified, doesn't even qualify as an immersion suit. So I'm going to show you the system for dressing, how I'm going to dress today. A light paddling top. I'm going to opt for my bib style waders. Now I just upgraded to these new NRS waders, but I've been wearing the sidewinders. A couple of little small changes. Primarily, it was a color thing with the zipper accents and some of those other pieces on there. But this is the system, right? So I've been wearing these same waders, just with a different color zipper. Got a new set. Have to look good on camera, you know the deal. And I'm very blessed to have, you know, the relationships that I have. But a lot of people say, oh man, Chad, I understand that you wear that stuff because you're sponsored, you're this, you're that. And that's not the case. I was actually in the Navy for 20 years, wore a lot of different dry suits, anti-exposure as a search and rescue swimmer. And so from the beginning, you know, of my adult life, I've understood the importance of safety in cold water, because cold water can kill, and it can kill you quickly. So again, what I like about this bib is it's a four-season kind of a deal, meaning I can wear it, and if it's so hot outside that I would roast in a dry suit, then I just wear this, a light shirt underneath it, dry top over the top, or maybe a light shirt and a medium weight shirt, but I can pull the top off, stand up, pull my bibs down, take that medium weight off should I get too hot. One of the things you run into early season is if you start to sweat, that perspiration, if it isn't wicked away from your skin, actually, once it's outside your body, then it starts to get cold and you go back and forth. Your body temperature fluctuates, you get fatigued much quicker, and it's just not a good situation. So I'm gonna walk you through that whole system, but this is the foundation of my system pretty much year round. And I'm gonna walk you through why I get away with using this instead of a full dry suit, and why I recommend this is a smart investment. You know, we all spend money on insurance in life, right? We spend auto insurance, home insurance, life insurance, but life insurance that's for after you die, which I'm not sure why they call it life insurance, because you have to die first to claim it. Anyway, so this is life insurance to keep you alive. So think about the cost of these things at around 400 bucks and amortize that over the course of several seasons, and then ask yourself, is it worth investing and saving your life for something like this? And the way I look at it is like this: if I can fish 3 extra months out of the year, and I spend $100 a month to go fishing, in 4 months I've paid for them, right? But then over 3 or 4 seasons, 5 seasons, 10 seasons, that cost is mitigated down to nothing. So again, yes, I'm standing here, sponsored angler, have the best of the best, but I would buy this stuff, and I do buy a lot of this stuff for my family, for my friends. If I do guided trips, I'm sticking you in this stuff before we get out on the water. And so I put my money where my mouth is. But I'm telling you to do this because it is a smart investment in extending your season, and it's a smart investment in saving your life. So these Sidewinder bibs from NRS are the foundation of my setup. Let me talk about what you wear under it. And that's why this system really becomes an extended season and something that you can wear transitioning through the warmer months when it's just starting to get cold, but then in the middle of the day it warms up. And so for the most part, I'm gonna start off by just wearing one of these wicking style shirts. You know, one of these, this one happens to be a Columbia PFG wicking style shirt. Basically, it's a terminal tackle hoodie. I like the hoodie because I can throw it up over my head, gets the wind off the back of my neck. If it's too sunny out, I can put it up over my head and it acts like sun protection. So it works really well in all seasons. Works great in the summertime, works great in the transition, but it's lightweight, it's wicking, keeps that sweat away from my body should I exert when I'm paddling, dragging my kayak through the woods, and then, but it's gonna keep me from getting cold due to the sweat, you know, sitting there right on my skin. And so I like to wear this as a base layer. So I'm gonna throw that on with those waders and that dry top, or that splash top, pretty much 2 months in the Southeast, depending on where you live. But as long as I'm getting into that situation where I'm comfortable, I'm not getting cold out on the water, half the battle is breaking the wind. And all of this will break the wind. When you break the wind, it keeps you cool. Put your waders on, put your splash top over the top of it, put your PFD on. If you flipped your kayak, if you fell in, you're gonna get some water over the top, but you're not gonna be in the water that long. The water's not that cold. You make your way to the bank, get warmed up, and you're gonna be good to go. But here's the deal. Once I'm below that rule of 120, right? Once the air temperature and the water temperature doesn't add up to 120, then I'm gonna go with a semi-dry top. The reason it's not a dry top, fully dry top, is it doesn't have a neck gasket and it doesn't have the fully gasketed sleeves, even though it's got this neoprene sleeve there. This is a semi-dry top. So anytime I'm below that rule of 120, I'm gonna go with a semi-dry top. The only reason, again, it's not a dry top is that it doesn't have a full gasket on the neck. So should you end up in the water, you're gonna get a little bit. I generally tell people you're gonna get a half a cup or so inside your suit, and then you're gonna be fine. Now, if it's super cold outside and I've got my semi-dry top on with my bibs, and when I put this on, I'll show you exactly why they work together as a system to keep the water out. Because with this gasketed waist of the semi-dry top and then the gasketed waist of the PFD, you put one inside the other, strap it down. Even a big boy like me, you're good to go. You put your PFD over the top for a little bit of extra insurance, and it keeps it all together. Now, when you get into what you're wearing underneath, once you start to get colder, this is where, you know, decisions become crucial, because if it gets really warm, you want to be able to take it off. And so I really like a light to medium weight, kind of a thermal insulated pants. It's kind of got a micro fleece thermal setup, stretches. It's got a drawstring on it. I don't wear thermal pants underneath a dry suit or bibs that don't have a drawstring on the waist, so I can cinch that down. Because there's nothing worse than sitting down and standing up and your drawers or your pants underneath your dry suit end up down around your ankles or your crotch, and it's all bunched up, you know, right around this area, right? So you want one that's got a good drawstring on it. That's critical for me for this time of year when I'm in that transitional time, and I don't go with a super heavy weight. I don't also lose a lot of body heat through my legs. I like to keep my core a little warmer, so I go with a lighter weight pant underneath. Now, a little bit later in the season, and when I say a little bit, not too much later, I'm a big fan of this union suit kind of deal. It's a one-stop shop job. It's actually a smarter investment from the standpoint financially than buying them separately. But again, I do this 6 days a week, 300 plus days a year. So, you know, I invest in the functionality. But if you're gonna spend the money one time, this setup right here is awesome. You don't have to worry about the drawstring because it's all connected. So your pants ain't gonna fall down because your pants are connected to the top. So it's kind of like one of those old timey, you know, movies where they got the flap in the back, except this one don't have the poop flap. You can't poop in these, but you can, you know, zip your thing up. And one thing about this union suit, and one that I would say you need to have in every union suit, is you need to have the zipper that zips down from the top and up from the bottom. I'll tell you about that in just a second. So the union suit is a real smart investment. Now, one big mistake that I see guys make all the time is using neoprene incorrectly. Now, I'm gonna finish out what I was talking about and then I'll get back to the neoprene. So the other thing that I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna pair with those paddling pants quite a bit, is again, a light to medium weight base layer. So this base layer here, partnered with these pants right now, is by and large what I'm gonna wear for the, you know, until it gets so cold that it's cold, right? Until it's really cold and I need that protection above the water, I'm generally gonna wear these first. I then go to the union suit. Then one thing that you wanna keep in mind is if your water temperature is below the rule of 120 and you don't wanna invest in a full dry top or a semi-dry top, and you wanna just stick with the splash top and the bibs, I'm gonna make a recommendation, but I want this recommendation to come with a certain amount of a warning. Neoprene is not designed to perform when you're out of the water. It's actually designed to perform when you're in the water. So if you're wearing neoprene and you have a neoprene shell like this NRS shell that I'm using here, then it's designed again to work when you're wet. It's not per se designed to work when you're dry, right? It's gonna make you sweat more. It's gonna make you sweat more and it's gonna make you get cool. But what I'll say is if you want increased functionality, if you want to extend the versatility of this splash top, the splash top in conjunction with a neoprene base layer is good insurance against going in the water with a dry top, without a dry top or a semi-dry top on. Meaning that if you flip your kayak or if you end up in the water and you only have a splash top on and you end up getting wet, this neoprene, the way neoprene works is your body heat heats up the water layer between the neoprene and your body, and it keeps you warm even in the water. So this is gonna be some prolonged insurance should you spend a prolonged amount of time in the water. So it's a smart investment. It is definitely something that I wear in the transition period. I actually wear neoprene in that transition period from cool to really cold. But when it gets to really cold, I go back to the union suit, go to either a full dry suit, the semi-dry top, and the bibs. But neoprene is a good insurance. I really like a lighter weight neoprene. I really like this this setup from NRS where the armpits can breathe, where it's easy. This is a paddling top, okay? And there's a lot of companies out there that make neoprene tops for different things, for swimming, you know, for surfing, for whatever. This is designed to paddle. It's designed where your armpits aren't gonna chafe and you end up with this blister on your side. And it's cut for paddling. It's cut to be in a seating position, arms forward. And so think about that. Your seams are not on your shoulders. Your seams are not on your shoulder bone and your shoulder blade where your PFD straps are going to be. And so this is designed for paddling. So if you're going to invest in a neoprene top, invest in a neoprene paddling top because you're going to do much better. I like to invest in a couple of different weights, and that way I've got the ability to do you know, progressional increasing of the amount of neoprene that I'm using. And in this case, I like this top because it's a zipper top, whereas this other top is a pullover top. This is kind of commitment. You put this on, you're committing to put it on for the day. With the way that the bibs work, and you can pull them down, you know, below your waist, you can unzip this thing and throw it on and off like a jacket. This is a smart investment. And if I had to only buy one, I'd buy the one with the zipper, right? It gives you a little bit more insurance. If you've got chest hair like I do, it can be something of a game of inches. When you tear this little tab off right here, and I waited to tear this off to show it, save this piece, right? I put this in the bottom of a shoebox that I save all of my gaskets and patch material, because this is gonna be perfect for patching your jacket should you ever have a problem, should anything ever happen to it. So always save that little tab. But this guy right here, in a little bit heavier weight, with the zipper front on it, with a base layer underneath, with one of these kind of rash guard style paddling shirts, Under Armour, you know, any of the popular brands out there that make those rash guards. NRS makes a great system, top to bottom, and so you can basically get fully outfitted there, or you can add in your favorite apparel. But when it comes down to the actual technical apparel, you want to go with a company that's a leader in making apparel that is technical for that particular sport. And NRS is the undisputed world leader in making paddling apparel. So buy your system there. Your other stuff that you already have can work great with it, but top to bottom, they make the best stuff on the market. And to me, the purpose of this video is to educate you on ways to make your money go further, so that when you invest in these pieces, they're interchangeable throughout the changing seasons. You know, if you buy a dry suit, you're dropping, you know, 800 to 1,000 bucks, and you can't wear it until it's so cold that you're not miserable, right? Whereas this system, you can progressively add in different base layers. You can go from a medium weight to a heavy weight, lightweight, medium weight, heavyweight, and you can interchange it. One thing I caution you against is wearing anything cotton. Do not wear cotton under your dry top. Do not wear cotton under your splash top. Do not wear cotton underneath your Sidewinder bibs, because for one, it's abrasive, okay? It's gonna cause friction. Two, it's gonna hold water. It's not moisture wicking, and should it get wet, it takes forever to dry and provides absolutely no insulation value. So avoid cotton, invest in a system. Remember the rule of 120. I hope this video helped. I'm gonna cap it off by telling you what I wear on my feet. And what I wear on my feet is these backwater neoprene zip-up booties. They work great with the Sidewinders, because the Sidewinders have the booty foot. They slide right inside. It's a nice clean system. It comes on and off really easily. And you don't want to buy the system where the boots are made onto your waders. The problem with that is if you ever have a problem with your booty or your boot wears out, your waders are gone, right? So you invest all that money and then you wear your shoe out, you know, and now your waders are ruined. So I like this socket style foot. You put your booty on over the top. When these dudes wear out, you buy a new pair of these and you don't have to invest in a new pair of waders. So I really like these these sock foot style waders, like the NRS Sidewinder bib. I like them with the neoprene booty. I will add a fleece sock under this as it gets a little bit later in the season. And then when it gets even further into the season, I'll add a wicking sock with a fleece sock over it underneath my boot foot wader, go to my booty, and I'm out there 365 days a year, most places. These are also great for wade fishing. They're also great for fly fishing if you're wade fishing. And they're just all around designed to be in the sitting position, to be in a paddling kayak, so they work much better than waders that are designed just for wading. So anyway, guys, hope this video helped. Smash that thumbs up button. If you feel like you got some value out of this video, share my video on your social media channels to help educate other people. Let's all stay safe out there. Let's all go fishing, but let's all make sure we get to go home and spend time with our families after the fact. And I'll see y'all next time on Kayak Bass Fishing. Love you. Don't forget to subscribe and, you know, do all that stuff. So we'll see y'all next time.